sitting down with NCAA champion and most recently professional swimmer Matt Sates from South Africa. Matt, you just made this announcement yesterday after winning an NCAA title, getting to Georgia just a couple months ago. So it kind of took everyone by surprise. But can you tell us about this decision? What went into it for you, and ultimately what made it the right one for you at this time?
Yeah, it's good to be back on the SwimSwam podcast.
Yeah.
But Georgia was such a nice place here though. Also, it had a great team, great coach, and I came there and they trained me for a couple months and never swum yards before, and I was able to win the NCAA title with him coaching. So it is a really good university. But the one thing that pushed me to go pro is I really wanted to swim more international galas and to really do well in like especially like the FINA World Cups and Mare Nostrum and like all those kind of galas that a pro swimmer needs to do. And I'm so grateful I got these opportunities. I got such a good team also in South Africa. So I got this opportunity that I don't need to also do college. I don't need to do the schoolwork and stuff. So I think if you ask anybody that, they said, "Oh, if you just want to go and swim, chase your dream and see how it goes," I think anyone would choose that. And I'm just so grateful that I got to choose this option now.
Absolutely. So I have to ask a few questions. First off, did something shift? You said you got this opportunity. Were you planning to just go to Georgia and kind of see how it went? Were you planning on going all 4 years, or were you of the mindset that you were going to make this decision to go professionally at some point during your time there?
Well, when I went there, I was planning to go all 4 years. I was trying to get in the routine of how it would be as a college athlete, as a student athlete. And so I was really focused on staying there for 4 years. Even when I came back home for trials, I like left my stuff in my room also because I thought I was coming back also. So like I didn't even get have a proper goodbye to some people. But I came here and then I have a manager and I just signed with this great team. And they just kind of told me, if you want to do this properly, we got the plan and the college system. I guess I needed to have more freedom of my own choices and choose, like, especially with sponsors. Ooh. My bad, sorry. Especially with sponsors, I think they'll give a great response if you swim national galas, and I can't really go to those meets if I'm away from college because of like schoolwork and stuff.
Yeah.
So they literally told me, and I was like, oh, I guess I'll take it up. And then I didn't go back.
There you go. So on the NCAA realm a little more, you said you went there, you were in, right? You were kind of getting into the routine of, as you said, being a student athlete. How was that routine for you? I am kind of curious, especially with, with anyone coming into college for the first time or to the US college system, being a student athlete in that system is a pretty big change, I think, from most people's daily routines. How are you settling into that routine before you left for trials in South Africa?
It was definitely difficult, especially now being part of a big team. And it wasn't as much like individual program. It was like you have to, like, I became almost part of their schedule, like part of like the system, I guess. But to do lots of work and to go to tutors and all of that, it showed me how much time that you actually have in a day. I wasn't really, I don't know, if I don't really have to do it, I wouldn't want to. But it is manageable, and my utmost respect for all college student athletes.
Yeah, it is hard. I was just a student. I went to college, but I was not an athlete. And to me, that was like enough to manage as is. And it wouldn't have been my first choice either if I had had an opportunity like yours. So that's an interesting point. So you mentioned that you kind of fell into their schedule and it wasn't as individualized. So at home in South Africa before, and I'm guessing now that you're back, is it much more individualized to kind of honed into what you're doing on a day-to-day basis for your schedule and for your coaches and your team?
Yeah, definitely. I said the coaches in Georgia did very well work with each person and all of that. But so they're super great at that. More individualized trainings that's at like, let me skip this and I'll catch up the session on Sunday. And my coach will come on Sunday and he'll do the session with me on Sunday, kind of thing. So I guess those are adjustments, but especially with like the school side, because really a student athlete, when you finish out of the pool, you're students. And so that was also weird, getting in like the school system again, having to adjust to that.
Yeah, absolutely. You're back in South Africa now. Are you going back to your old coach and your old club team?
So I'm training with my old coach for now for like a week. But we're really planning training camps in like Dubai and Europe, and this to find like training partners to be with. And it's so awesome now because I am got the freedom to move around. I can go and train anywhere with anyone, kind of, or not anyone, but like with specific people. Like if I was talking to David Popovici, and he's training by himself. I'm also training myself. We can always like shout out David. We can always make like a plan to train together if that was needed be, or to meet up somewhere. So like to have all these opportunities now is great. So I don't really know the exact destination of where I will be training, but I know it will be quite cool, and I'll have the right group of people.
Listen, if you and David ever feel the need to put your workouts on SwimSwam, or you want to get some pancakes, you just give me a call and I will meet you guys wherever you're training. We'll do a little practice of pancakes. that would be awesome.
We'll definitely let you know.
So, I mean, the more and more you're talking about it, the more and more I'm like, yeah, this sounds great, right? This is a dream come true, and it sounds like a really good setup for you initially. So there are some really funny comments on our article that I thought were very humorous. One person said, "You're trying to speed run an international swimming career because you've already got a world junior record, you got an NCAA title, so now you're just going to get an Olympic and a world title, and then dip." And there were a lot of mentions of of like, oh, he just side quested NCAAs. It's but we see this a lot in other sports, right? And it's very common. Like, again, you didn't plan for this, but like a one and done scenario happens all the time in the US for like basketball, football. It's like it's very common, and that's kind of the nature of professional sports. And so I think this, if anything, this makes you a trailblazer. And I think it's really cool because we've never really seen someone do this before. So congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah. So NCAA swimming, you got a taste for it. What was your favorite part of it?
This having the whole team there. having like the whole group of like support system, and it's a difference because now you're not racing for yourself anymore. You got the team behind you, and having that was pretty cool, especially with the amounts of support that like the Georgia Bulldogs have.
Absolutely. You guys by far had the coolest team. You had the team jerseys that you were wearing on the podiums. That was by far the coolest outfits at the men's NCAA meet. So kudos on that one. And absolutely. Georgia has a huge support, huge alumni presence, right? I mean, like I'm sure you swam with the pro group there. Did you get to swim with the pros there at all?
I did swim with Chase a couple sessions, and so I guess I did swim with the pro group. But Chase would join us and stuff.
Okay, what was that like? I mean, did you race him at all, or did you get to train with him?
I got into a couple of sessions with him, and it was pretty cool. He's such an amazing guy. Luke and I would we went to his house for dinner. And like he would cook us sausages and pasta kind of thing. So super nice guy.
That's awesome. I've heard a lot of good things about Chase's cooking. I know when I went to Athens once or practiced at Pancakes, he took me to the Waffle House that he lived above at the time, and he was like, "This is my spot. They know my order here," and they did. he just walked in, and they're like, "The usual," and he's like, "Yep." It was awesome. It was a boss move. So you're back in South Africa. You just had your trials meet coming right off of NCAA championships. We reported on it, but how did you feel about your trials performances overall?
It was definitely hard. It was challenging getting back into long course, especially the way that I've only been training yards kind of. So the different strokes for yards, it's more like yards you need to attack it, and long course you need to like be more elegant, I would say, with the racing. So just to transition to that. But I wasn't done with it. Nothing special though. No crazy times, but I'm hoping to improve in Mare Nostrum, so that'll also be a good one.
What can you remind me what events you will actually be swimming at World Champs?
So we're still trying to decide. I think the first day is 400 free, 400 IM. So, and my coach is maybe we do the double
at World Championships.
At World Championships. So maybe I'll try and make finals for the 400 free, 400 IM or something. But I don't really know. I'm going to obviously race Mare Nostrum, see what races are looking good, see what races are open, and then race at the Worlds and try and execute it properly.
Gotcha. Okay, fair enough. Keeping us on our toes. That I'll be on the lookout for that one. Definitely. So one question that kind of got brought up is that, you were at Georgia, obviously you went home for South Africa trials, and then all of this happened. Was there a consideration at all of going pro, but training at Georgia, and even, maybe being a student or maybe not being a student? Cause they obviously have a pretty long history of training long course, and putting people on the Olympic team, et cetera, et cetera. Was that ever a consideration for you?
It's such an exciting thing now because I'm having the freedom to go anywhere or train anywhere. I don't know where I'm going to go. So obviously that can be an option also, especially after Worlds and Commonwealth Games. And I'm looking for more of a base. Definitely could be an option.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. We'll keep our eyes out. Well, Matt, thank you for dropping in and giving us this perspective. It was, again, it's a big move. To me, it's a really exciting one. It's kind of moving sport in a different direction. Any parting thoughts or anything else before we sign off?
Yeah, no, I'm super excited to get this pro swimming life journey done. And we've got such a small, especially being swimmer, then it's such a physically demanding sport, such a little time that we have. And yeah, so I'm gonna try and use my best ability with this time, and then see what happens after, I guess. Like, if I can do this for now, then. But thank you.
You've been listening to the SwimSwam podcast. Stay tuned for new episodes every week. You can take SwimSwam podcast on the go by subscribing on your favorite podcast platform. Look for links in the description below, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos as well.